your VM iSave account today. Visit isavingforthat.myvmgroup.com. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
When someone is on top of things, it shows. On top of the day, on top of the game, on top of the world. And no other card puts you in charge like your new Visa credit card from VM. Every click, swipe, or tap solves a problem, sweetens a moment, and unlocks rewards. So, what puts you in control of purchases, payments, and the global platform of perks? This card can. Get your VM Visa Gold or Visa Platinum credit card today.
Everybody need a little help sometime. VM money transfer them on the front line. Get your money from foreign fast. You not fi ask 2 times. VM them on the front line. No step out fi join the line. Computer or phone do the thing online. Switch up the thing man, stay inside. Straight in your account. MoneyGram quick time. VM make it easy for you get your money. So if you have to get a thing from your brother or mommy, hey, it's a no Insta, this a MoneyGram. MoneyGram. Check your phone, your money land. VMBS money transfer. MoneyGram. Safer, faster, easier. MoneyGram. VMBS money transfer. MoneyGram. We're in this thing together. Nobody step out fi join no line. Straight in your account, money reach long time. VMBS money transfer. VM, we're here for you.
We are written into this land. You are written into our story. Together stronger we stand. You win is our victory.
We're a firm foundation,
here to stay. Build you a brighter way. Transform your everyday.
VM Group. Transform your everyday.
It's time to think of saving as earning. Time to put your savings to work so your money is hustling, growing, rising. It's time to iSave. Save for your goal. It's in reach when you automate it and let your money plus VMBS do the work. iSave this summer for a chance to win $100, $250, even $500,000. 12 prizes, 12 more reasons to start your VM iSave account today. Visit isavingforthat.myvmgroup.com. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
When someone is on top of things, it shows. On top of the day, on top of the game, on top of the world. And no other card puts you in charge like your new Visa credit card from VM. Every click, swipe, or tap solves a problem, sweetens a moment, and unlocks rewards. So, what puts you in control of purchases, payments, and the global platform of perks? This card can. Get your VM Visa Gold or Visa Platinum credit card today.
Everybody need a little help sometime. VM money transfer them on the front line. Get your money from foreign fast. You not fi ask 2 times. VM them on the front line. No step out fi join the line. Computer or phone do the thing online. Switch up the thing man, stay inside. Straight in your account. MoneyGram quick time. VM make it easy for you get your money. So if you have to get a thing from your brother or mommy, hey, it's a no Insta, this a MoneyGram. MoneyGram. Check your phone, your money land. VMBS money transfer. MoneyGram. Safer, faster, easier. MoneyGram. VMBS money transfer. MoneyGram. We're in this thing together. Nobody step out fi join no line. Straight in your account, money reach long time. VMBS money transfer.
My name is Michael McMorris, Chairman of VM Group. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the first annual general meeting of VM Group Limited. I invite our executive, Carla McIntosh Gordon, Group Chief Strategy Officer, to lead us in prayer before we begin.
Thank you, Chairman. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today. For each mind and heart that feels the presence of this room, we thank you. As we gather at this annual general meeting, we stand before our members and clients, accountable for the faith and funds they have entrusted to us. Help us to provide clarity and respect in all our communications and actions so that we satisfy their expectations and engender their continued support. May the decisions made here today lead us towards a path of success and fulfillment. Grant us wisdom, strength, and unity to build and develop products and services that glorify and honor your name. May everything we create be a testament to your greatness, enriching and bettering the lives of our members and clients here in Jamaica and within the diaspora. Lord, we ask for your strength and support for our team members who provide steadfast service each day. Empower them with resilience, dedication, and a spirit of excellence. Let our efforts be fruitful and fulfilling, and may they find joy and purpose in their work. As leaders, help us to understand and deliver on the responsibility to guide and develop those under our charge. Grant us the vision to see their potential, the wisdom to nurture their growth, and the compassion to support them in all circumstances. May our leadership be a source of inspiration, encouragement, and strength. We also lift up all who provide support to us, our board members, our auditors, our strategic partners, as we strive to serve our customers better. Bless our collaborations, that they may be founded on mutual respect and shared goals. We come to you today with our hearts open and ready to listen. We ask that you encourage us as we speak and help us to hear your voice in each other's words. In your new holy name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Carlo. Let us begin this afternoon's proceedings by moving a motion for the notice of the meeting to be taken as read. May I have a motion by any member? Thank you. Philip Silvera moves. May I have a seconder? Janet Harrison. Thank you. Janet. On behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you all for being here on this historic occasion for VM. Thanks and welcome to those joining us live on YouTube and Facebook. On stage with me are Courtney Campbell, President and CEO of the VM Group, to my far left, your right. Janice McKinley, Group Chief Financial Officer, beside him. And Kerry Gay Brown, Group Chief Legal Compliance and Risk Officer, to my immediate right. Also present in the audience and online are members of the board, other executive leaders, and team members of VM. I'd like to say a special hello to Colin Wharf, who flew in from Trinidad, where he lives, but is a board member and our audit chair for VMBS. So thank you for coming, Colin. Our newest board member for one of our subsidiaries, VM Pensions, Lisa Bell, formerly of Exim Bank. Lisa, thank you. And of course, the indomitable Philip Silvera, the eternal Philip Silvera. Thank you. Okay. The first item on the agenda is the presentation of the auditor's report and statement of accounts for the year ended 31 December 2023, as well as the director's report. Mr. Nigel Chambers from KPMG, auditors of VM Group, will now present the auditor's report and statement of account. Nigel.
Thank you, Chair. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm representing KPMG, and the engagement partner, Mr. Johnson, couldn't be here, so apologies from her. I'm joined by Ricardo Dallin as well, who is a manager on the audit team. The auditor's report is on pages 105 to 106 of your annual report, and I will read from the report as required. We have audited the financial statements of VM Group Limited, the company, comprising the separate financial statements of the company and the consolidated financial statements of the company and its subsidiaries, collectively the group, set out on pages 107 to 181, which comprise the group's and company's statements of financial position as at December 31, 2023, the group's and company's statements of comprehensive income, changes in equity and cash flows for the year then ended, and notes comprising the material accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the group and the company as at December 31, 2023, and of the group's and the company's financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with IFRS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board, or IFRS accounting standards, and the Jamaican Companies Act. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements section of our report. We are independent of the company in accordance with the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants and International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including International Independence Standards, or for short, the ISBA Code. And we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the ISBA Code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Management is responsible for the other information, which comprises the information included in the annual report, but does not include the financial statements and the auditor's report thereon. The annual report is expected to be made available to us after the date of the auditor's report. So bear in mind, this is written as at the date of the opinion. Our opinion on the financial statements does not cover the other information, and we will not express any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statements, our responsibility is to read the other information identified above when it becomes available, and in doing so, consider whether the information is materially inconsistent with the financial statements or our knowledge obtained in the audit, or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. When we read the annual report, if we conclude that there is a material misstatement therein, we are required to communicate the matter to those charged with governance. Management is responsible for the preparation of financial statements that give a true and fair view in accordance with IFRS accounting standards and the Jamaican Companies Act, and for such internal control as management determines is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statements, management is responsible for assessing the company's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to going concern, and using the going concern basis of accounting unless management either intends to liquidate the company or to cease operations or has no realistic alternative but to do so. Those charged with governance are responsible for overseeing the group's financial reporting process. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ISAs will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if, individually or in the aggregate, they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decisions of users taken on the basis of these financial statements. As part of an audit in accordance with ISAs, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also, and there are 6 bullets that follow, identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, then design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and obtain audit evidence that is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than for one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentations, or the override of internal control. Second bullet, we obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the group's internal control. Evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used and the reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosures made by management. Conclude on the appropriateness of management's use of the going concern basis of accounting, and based on the audit evidence obtained, whether a material uncertainty exists related to events or conditions that may cast significant doubt on the company's ability to continue as a going concern. If we conclude that a material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention in our auditor's report to the related disclosures in the financial statements, or if such disclosures are inadequate, to modify our opinion. Our conclusions are based on the audit evidence obtained up to the date of the audit report. However, future events or conditions may cause the company to cease to continue as a going concern. Evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statements, including the disclosures, and whether the financial statements represent the underlying transactions and events in a manner that achieves fair presentation. And then lastly, obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding the financial information of the entities or business activities within the group to express an opinion on the consolidated financial statements. We are responsible for the direction, supervision, and performance of the group audit. We remain solely responsible for our audit opinion. We communicate with those charged with governance regarding, among other matters, the plan, scope, and timing of the audit and significant audit findings, including any significant deficiencies in internal control that we identify during the audit. There's a required reporting under the Jamaican Companies Act, which I'll also read. We've obtained all information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been maintained so far as appears from our examination of those records, and the financial statements which are in agreement therewith give the information required by the Jamaican Companies Act in the manner required. Signed, KPMG, June 3, 2024. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nigel. Done with efficiency. It seemed shorter than usual. No need. Thank you. I will now present the chairman's message, which you can find in the annual report as well. But I'll give you the abbreviated version. As we reflect on the challenges and triumphs of the 12 months ended December 2023, it is clear that it was a year of meaningful achievements as well as many lessons which will empower the VM Group to reset and rise, given the valuable insights gained along our journey. The local economy over the past year displayed noticeable positive trends in key economic indicators, including gross domestic product growth of 2.6%, which closed, gross domestic product growth, estimated annual growth rate of 2.6%, which closed 2023 at a record high of US $4.75 billion, and that's international reserves. As well as the unemployment rate down from 6.28% in 2022 to 4.38% by October 2023. Still, inflationary pressures persisted, including sustained high interest rates and malaise in the local stock market. Additionally, the Jamaican dollar closed the year with a year-over-year depreciation of 1.87% relative to the United States dollar, supported by multiple interventions from the Bank of Jamaica. Economic indicators in the other territories in which we operate, Barbados, United Kingdom, and the United States of America, painted a similar picture of encouraging economic activity, but with inflation and interest rates remaining relatively high. The local financial sector was challenged while navigating the BOJ's inflation combating strategy of retaining a 7% policy rate for 12 months. And the stock exchange movement continued on a downward trend. The higher interest rates facing deposit-taking institutions negatively impacted various lines of business and dampened income, particularly from lending solutions and equity trading, which suffered as a result of a general negative trend in the stock market. For the VM Group, the impact was no different, with a resulting negative outcome on our financial performance. The VM Group's net loss was $374.66 million, reflecting a worsened position relative to the previous year, which had registered some $3 billion of net income. Commendable work was done, however, to increase total loans, deposits, and assets by $10.54 billion, $18.12 billion, and $15.44 billion, respectively, setting us up for a return to strong profits in the near term as we optimize earnings from our solid balance sheet growth. These efforts to strengthen and diversify our future revenue sources by management of our balance sheet included an increase in our ownership stake in British Caribbean Insurance Company, expansion of our UK specialty lending business, and our first Jamaica Stock Exchange listed preference share issuance. The latter's addition to our capital of more than $11 billion provides us with flexibility to pursue new growth initiatives and is, we believe, a signal of the firm trust that customers and investors have in our ability to meet the current challenges and to successfully execute our strategy for further development of our multinational enterprise. Central to our strategy execution is the fact that in 2023, the process of restructuring the enterprise was completed, with the incorporation of financial and non-financial holding companies now allowing us new flexibility to rapidly capitalize on growth opportunities as we develop them. This new structure is fortified by our revised enterprise risk management framework, giving us the confidence and strength to adopt a more proactive approach to exploring new business horizons with the appropriate guardrails in place to ensure resilience and sustainability. Our mission has always been to help our members achieve financial well-being and in so doing, secure their future every step of the way. Expanding the number of consumer and business solutions in more places, locally and internationally, builds upon that commitment and increases our position as a strong Jamaican business serving our people now and well into the future. As we look ahead to 2024, our focus remains unwavering. We will continue to innovate, adapt, and evolve while selecting the best opportunities for our growth and diversification. I thank all our directors whose diligence and foresight continue to serve this organization well. On behalf of the board, I offer heartfelt thanks to the VM leaders and team members for your commitment to those we serve and for staying true to VM's purpose. Special thank you also to our members and clients for continuing to believe in us and for affording us the privilege of serving you. As we reset and rise, we are confident that we will emerge stronger and more resilient in the years to come. Thank you. Thank you again. And before I welcome Courtney to give the CEO's address, I wanted to just talk a little bit about this restructuring that we talked about last year and the year before. It's complete and it's very momentous for us. This is indeed the first annual general meeting of VM Group Limited, and I want to thank all the members for getting us there. And I think page 8 in the annual general report gives you the picture of the new structure. I think, Courtney, you touched on it in your presentation as well. But I do want to introduce you to the new chairman of VMBS. So I was the chairman of VMBS, and I'm now the chairman of VM Financial Group and VM Group. And now we have VMBS as a subsidiary of the financial group. And the new chairman of VMBS is sitting right in front of me here, Mr. Brian Golson. Brian, please stand. Brian has been a long and trusted board member of VMBS and agreed to take over the helm last year. So we wish him all the best and good fortune, Brian. I would like to also introduce you to another director who is the new chairman of VM MTS, VM Money Transfer Services. And that's Maya Waldron. Maya, can you stand? And we wish her good fortune as well. I think that's it for introductions for now. Let me ask Courtney to come up and give his CEO address. Courtney.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman Michael McMorris, other directors of the VM Group and of subsidiaries of the VM Group, leaders of the VM Group, team members of the VM Group, members of the VM Group. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this, the first annual general meeting of the new VM Group. It's such a delight to see you. I'm going to just ask all the leaders of VM who share that leadership responsibility with me to stand so the members can see you and pose questions to you at the end of the meeting. So setting up. These are the people who share leadership responsibility. Please thank them for they really do work very hard. So I want to thank you all. And in fact, all the VM team members, can we see many of you standing at the back, or seated at the back in your lovely white? Samantha? Amoy? Yes, all right, welcome. Thank you very much. Members, it's a special privilege and honor to address you in this very first AGM of the VM Group. It was incorporated, as the chairman said, on 1st of February 2023, both the VM Group Limited and VM Financial Group. In 2023, we faced formidable challenges, but we are grateful to God that, for this resilient team that we have and a wise board. And together we have navigated our way to record some significant gains for the business, some significant successes. And we believe that we have, in many respects, laid the foundation for a strong future. I left my clicker, 1 second. So let's remind ourselves who we are as a VM Group. We are a mutual. That's an important word. And we are intent on making a difference. That's what our purpose is. So remember that our vision, which I'm going to remind you of shortly, our mission is to empower our members globally to achieve financial well-being. But we're more than just being a modern mutual. We're a purpose-driven modern mutual. We're a diversified and integrated group. We're a full-service group. Many do not realize that. We're a global group. We're transformed, and we continue to be transformed. We're member-focused. And I want to point out to us today, because many do not realize, that VM is unique in our ability to help you create wealth through real estate. So let's share a little more about each of these. So a reminder of our vision, our mission, and our values. I won't read all of them because our members are good readers, but I will just draw your attention to our purpose, which is captured in the mission. And the purpose drives the vision, the mission, and the core values. Our purpose is to empower our members globally to achieve financial well-being. And we do that through home ownership and innovative investment solutions delivered across multiple channels, very importantly, by an expert and caring team. That's how our team members define ourselves. We want, but wherever you interact with us in our pensions business, in money services, in money transfer business, in VM Wealth, in VMBS, VM Finance overseas, that you should experience the expertise and you should experience care. That's what we are promising to our members in all interactions. We are a diversified and integrated group, so that now that we have established VM Group Limited as the ultimate holding company, what you'll see there is that in the financial group, VM Financial Group has 8 financial service subsidiaries and 3 financial service associate companies. And then there are 3 companies on the non-financial side, and of course we have the very important VM Foundation. We're also a full-service organization, offering savings and deposit products for both personal and business, investment and pensions services, loans and other credit facilities, again for both personal and business, and a wide range of other services, from payments to real estate services, valuations, property management, FX services, and more recently, fintech services. Where are we operating? Jamaica and 6 other territories. In the UK, in Florida, in New York, in Barbados through BCIC and Caroline, in Trinidad and Tobago through Caroline, and in the Turks and Caicos Islands through BCIC. Of course, we ended the year with not only 16 branches in Jamaica and the over 90 locations for VMTS, but we have now over 32 ABMs to serve you across the island. We are transformed. We have been transformed, and we continue to be transformed. Why do we say that? We have expanded in the last 5 years, our products and services, the range of products and services that we offer. Recently, we now offer specialized property lending in the UK. Through VM Innovations, we offer the PropMan property management software. And as you know, we established our new fintech recently, VM Innovations. So that's just one example of how we have expanded our products and introduced new businesses. But we have rebranded the VM Group. And why did we rebrand the VM Group a few years ago? Because we want to remind everyone that VM is so much more than a mortgage institution. And that we are offering a full range of products and services to satisfy you. We're not only serving individuals, but we're serving businesses as well. And we have not only rebranded the group, but we have established the VM Group now, the VM Financial Group, and created our own fintech, VM Innovations, as I said. And then we have, at the end of 2023, we have licensed, the Central Bank, Bank of Jamaica, has now issued a financial holding company license to the VM Financial Group. And we, in September, established VM Real Estate Holdings to hold some key real estate assets on our behalf, and also to explore for the future development opportunities that we may have. And last year, we increased our share in BCIC, one of the leading insurance companies in Jamaica, to 44.45%. Soon after we had the establishment of VM Financial Group, we were able to successfully raise over $11 billion in preference shares. I want to thank all of you for your support in that regard. And we have used those funds to strengthen the capital of VMBS and of VM Wealth in particular, and to then also look at some other acquisition opportunities. So the transformation continues, but we're also member focused. And this is a very important slide, because you need to know that all our operations are aimed at delivering more value, more benefits to you, our members. So our products and services, last year, we increased our deposit portfolio. I'll share the precise figures with you, but what you should know is that of every $100 saved in Jamaica, $8 are with VM, right? I'd love for that to be 18, and you can help us to be 18 and 28 by getting your neighbors and friends to bring their savings to VM. But we're pretty proud of our strong market share. We last year disbursed $14 billion in mortgages, many to first-time homeowners. And I think that's significant to help people acquire their first homes. And there are other needs-based products that we're offering, whether it is investments, pensions. We're helping more and more people to prepare for retirement. Credit cards, we have our new VM credit cards. I hope if you do not have a VM credit card, please inquire about how you can access your own VM credit card before you leave here today. Many of our members do not know that you can actually, if you're traveling or need to spend funds overseas, that you can buy your FX from VM. Or if you have received some US dollars or pounds that you'd like to convert into Jamaican dollars, we offer very competitive rates for you as well. We have been doing more to reward our members for their loyalty. So I think it's important to point out, last year, when we did the research, we found that our savings rates, especially our iSave account, listen to me carefully, paid between 2 to 4% higher than the average savings rates in this country. That means that our members were better off for saving with VM. Should your neighbor be saving with VM? Should the rest of your family be saving with VM? If that's the case, well, please go out and be missionaries for VM, because those are real tangible benefits in dollars that we are paying to our members. We also made it easier for Jamaicans to benefit, more Jamaicans to benefit from these benefits, to enjoy these benefits of VM by welcoming more people into the VM family. Over 14,000 new members we welcomed last year, and we're accelerating the rate of growth in the business. And you know what? We're not only doing well for you, we're doing well for our community as well. And that's why, through the VM Foundation, we impacted over 90,000 lives in Jamaica last year. And we're doing that on your behalf. But there's something I want to point out to you. Some of the services, savings, mortgages, auto loans, investments, pensions, you will see that they're also offered by other institutions. Am I correct? What makes VM unique then? What makes VM unique is our distinctive set of integrated capabilities and actual performance in a very important area. Globally, it is accepted that the two asset classes that help to create wealth are real estate and equities. Have you heard that before? Well, VM, the VM Group, is unmatched, unparalleled in terms of our integrated set of capabilities and actual performance, helping you, our members, to create wealth using the real estate asset class. Why do I say that? Listen to what you have in the VM Group. This is what you own. You ought to know the value of what you own. For over 146 years, VM Building Society has been helping Jamaicans acquire their first homes. We now currently have over 16,000 mortgage accounts. Do we know mortgages? Do we know mortgages? Our VM Investments and VM Wealth is ranked among the top 3 performing funds in the past 3 years, the unit trust run by VM Wealth. And the property fund in VM Wealth, the real estate fund, has delivered the best returns for its investors to the clients in 3 of those years. Do we know real estate in VM Wealth? VM Pensions has over 182,000 square feet of property. And the real estate fund in VM Pensions has outperformed its benchmark in 4 of the past 5 years. What does that mean? It means that our people who are preparing for retirement, investing for retirement through VM Pensions, are beating inflation. They're earning real returns because of the work done by the investment team in VM Pensions, because they know real estate. In VM Finance in the UK, which this business has started in 2018, VM Finance disbursed over £168 million so far in loans to fund property development in the UK. So we not only know real estate in Jamaica, but we also know real estate in the UK. VM Property Services, let me move the slide. VM Property Services offers not only valuations, we do approximately 700 valuations every year, so we know the value of properties here, but VM Property Services actually manages over 318,000 square feet of commercial property. VM Innovations and our new fintech launched the first strata and community management system app to support strata corporations and homeowners associations in Jamaica. I'm just underscoring that we know real estate. We know how to create wealth through real estate. BCIC, our associate, of which we own 44%, is the second largest insurance company in Jamaica. 50% of their portfolio is property insurance. And by the way, if you have claims from burial, the BCIC team, we are waiting on you. And then KP REIT, another associate, owns 465,000 square feet of property with an investment portfolio valued at $66 million. So I think all told, but you know, we're not stopping there. The VM Foundation also knows real estate, because the VM Foundation, Samantha Charles, negotiated a deal with the National Land Agency, a partnership in which we are helping over 400 families in Jamaica, that's our intention, to acquire their own registered titles so that they can unlock the value in their properties. So not only our business entities, but our foundation is helping people to create wealth using real estate. As I said earlier, the VM Group is unique in the Caribbean in terms of our capabilities and our demonstrated performance in helping people to create wealth using the real estate asset class. I believe I've made my case, Mr. Chairman. So looking back then, having said that, that's who the VM Group is. A year of strategic building, a quick look at our operating environment. As we know, GDP growth started to slow as we came out of COVID. We had the bounce back from COVID. You see that graph there showing growth rates in Barbados, Jamaica, Canada, the UK is in there as well as Jamaica. And so the growth started to slow last year compared to the previous year. That's only expected. Inflation rates, happily, have started to moderate. And since this year, we have now come back within the, for at least 2 months, the 4 to 6% range set by the central bank. So hopefully that will eventually begin to positively impact on interest rates. So far, the policy rate of the Bank of Jamaica has remained stable at 7%. Now, that's just part of our operating context. The regulatory focus has been there. All the regulators across the world are intensifying their risk management scrutiny and raising standards for capital management and consumer protection. And this will make the sector even more resilient, and it made the sector even stronger, and it will also enhance customer experience. However, at an institutional level, these improvements actually cost real money, right? They cost us in terms of the expense to raise additional capital, to make the capitalization better, but they also cost us in terms of the expensive technology that we have to acquire to serve you better. And you see some of those expenses in our P&L. The core business performance, the chairman mentioned it earlier, and I want to just be very candid, was disappointing last year. Now, we had a marginal decline in operating revenue, but I think it's important to back out an extraordinary item in the previous year, in 2022. There's a one-off item again from purchase of receivables, which allowed us to have booked in 2022 $1.8 billion. So when we adjust for that, revenue actually increased by $1.3 billion, or 15% in 2023. But that's the revenue. VM Financial Group, in terms of the bottom line, VM Financial Group generated a net surplus, a profit of $581 million, while the VM Group, however, had a net deficit of $374 million for the reporting period 2023. I'm going to explain that to you now, so that let's pay a little attention. It's a very important slide. What we're sharing here is, on the top row, the audited profit before tax for the years 2020, 2021, 22, and 23. But we have to do some adjustments to reflect some extraordinary gains that were made in 2020 and in 2022. So if you focus on 2022 and compare 22 with 23, what you'll see is that we had purchased some receivables from the NHT. We wrote about this in our annual report last year, and we had a gain from that transaction of $1.8 billion. And then we also had below the line another item called extinguished dormant accounts. As part of our restructuring, dormant accounts that were dormant for greater than 15 years were used to improve the capital of VMBS. That you approved that, the Supreme Court approved that. But it had to pass through the P&L. So it had a distorting effect on the profit and loss. So those two items, when they are subtracted in 22, 1.8 billion and 1.2 billion, you end up with a real operating profit before tax of $878 million. We then compare that with the loss before tax of $511 million in 2023. Now that is primarily attributable to the increase in interest expenses. That interest expenses increased by $2.19 billion in 2023. Of that 2.1, 754 million relates to the preference share, that $11 billion in preference shares that we issued. And another 902 relates to the expenses in VMBS for the increased deposit growth, typically more expensive deposits. The good news is that so far this, and the other thing that impacted us is that we held back as long as we could in passing on this higher increased interest costs to our mortgage customers. And so what has happened now since this year is that the net interest income is pretty much in line with our expectations in 2024. But I thought it was important for you to understand the reason for that performance in 2023. So let's then look at what else happened in the business, because some other important things that were a benefit to our members happened in the business. We established a partnership with Canopy Insurance to bring insurance benefits to you, our members. We launched the Canopy Family Plan, targeting members, clients, and team members of the VM Group. We increased our stake in BCIC to 44.45%. We acquired Republic Funds in Barbados, that was previously owned by Republic Bank out of Trinidad, and now since January of this year, we have now taken full responsibility for that business, and we expect to use it to increase our wealth management offerings in the Eastern Caribbean. And very importantly, we launched online business banking to serve our business customers. Taking a quick look at specific business units, starting with the VM Building Society, and Paul Elliott is here, he's the CEO. Wave to the members, Paul. Right? Last year, the VM Building Society increased its operating revenue from 7.49 billion to just over 8.2 billion. The deposits increased by $11 billion and loans by $9 billion. We launched 2 new credit cards in VM Building Society and expanded the fleet of ABMs to 32, all with the aim of serving you better. And by the way, as I said earlier, we are paying higher rates on our iSave accounts, but last year we introduced 2 new long-term accounts in the iSave portfolio, and again, our members are able to benefit from better interest rates on those accounts. VMBS also, very importantly, upgraded their platforms to allow real-time account balance updates, which regardless of what channel you're using, online, ABM, or point of sale. VM Finance in the UK had a really good year, net profit growth of 9%, revenue growth of almost 18%, and loan portfolio growth of 17%, delivering a profit, operating revenue of £3.8 million
and profit of £1.5 million. And we continue to be very pleased with that business. In fact, we have now negotiated a new agreement with a large UK bank, NatWest, to provide additional funding so that VM Finance can continue to grow their portfolio. VM Investments Limited, run by Rez Burchinson. Rez, you'll just wave, thank you. Had a difficult year last year. Rez has already reported to his AGM. The operating revenue fell by 18%, largely due to a decline in gains on investment activities and fee and commission income. The asset management portfolio, assets under management, remain fairly stable, but there are some lots of good news in VM Investments. The unit trust portfolio has performed well. In fact, two portfolios, the global equity portfolio and the classic property portfolio, were the best performers in the market. They offered market-leading returns. The global equity portfolio, 21%, and the classic property portfolio, almost 12%, 11.93 to be exact. And VMIL was recognized by the Jamaica Stock Exchange for its success in bringing new investors into the market and attracting companies to list. So we're really very pleased with the work being done by VM Investments, driving financial inclusion. Apart from that, as I said, we have introduced a new client management system. CRIS, the rating agency, upgraded the rating of paper issued by VM Investments Limited. VM Investments Limited improved the corporate governance score, and very importantly, led the leveraged buyout of a large player in the tourism industry. That was done by the capital markets team in VM Investments. VM Pensions Management, Natalie Bennett is the CEO, had a really strong year in 23, going too far back. The assets under management increased to $62.8 billion, up by $4 billion. There was over 60% increase in net profits. Well done, Natalie and team. And there was a 22% increase in the number of newly onboarded approved retirement scheme members. This is very important, members. Many people in Jamaica do not work with a company that offers a pension plan. So many companies are saying to their members, their staff, we will take you on contract, or we're not in a position to offer a pension plan at this time. Many Jamaicans are are self-employed. Many are unemployed too, but thankfully that number is falling. But many are self-employed or professionals and do not have a robust retirement plan. The approved retirement scheme offered via VM Pensions is the plan for you. Thankfully, we're all living longer. That's a good thing. But if we have these longer retirement years without being properly prepared, without being adequately prepared for retirement, it can be a very painful period. And so we're asking all the members of VM to share with your friends, with your church sister or your church brother, with your Kiwanis friend, that if you do not have a retirement plan, please speak with the VM Pensions team about how you can purchase your own approved retirement scheme. And we're improving on the service that we offer to you, because even though I share this because we want to explain to you what we're doing to improve our operations. We have an end-of-day process that was a 5-day processing time that we have now reduced to 2 hours. So we're doing all of this to improve our service to you, the members of VM. Our money transfer business, run by Michael Howard over there, continues to grow in terms of the remittance volume. Last year, the remittance volume increased by 10%. And you can see that we have had a 5-year compound average growth rate of 30%. And so, Chairman Maya, we're looking forward to continue to accelerate that growth. Our market share in remittances is now approximately 8% compared to just 1% a few years ago. So we're growing market share. And very importantly, our members should know that VM Money Transfer is leading the way with digital remittances. You can have your remittance credited to an account. In fact, the last numbers I saw, over 35% of our remittances are being credited directly to a bank account instead of having people to go into a money service outlet to pick up cash and be exposed to all the security risks that there are. And that's why VM continues to push that. So, and it's not only about the security, but it's also about the convenience and the importance of saving. Because we're saying, have the funds credited to a saving account, you won't be tempted to spend all of it. When you have it in cash, the temptation will be there. So please share that information. VM Property Services, I think Alison is on vacation, but we had a 13% improvement in operating revenue, and we continue to improve our loyalty score there. Our new baby, VM Innovations, we're very proud of some of the work being done by VM Innovations. Maurice Barnes is the CEO. We introduced Vicky. Hopefully you have met Vicky if you have tried to speak to us online. Vicky is our chatbot, and she's very intelligent, brighter than I am, right? Which is not very difficult, but but the revenue generated, and we've started to earn revenue in VM Innovation, so that's a good thing. And very importantly, we'll give you a sneak preview today of the turnkey mortgage ecosystem that we are about to introduce to the market. And then what about our associates? BCIC had a really good year in 2023, increased revenue by almost 19% to $16 billion, and the pre-tax profit by 40% to $715 million. You know, we're so proud of BCIC. BCIC is the only Caribbean insurer that has been certified by Rightmark for issuing easy-to-understand plain language policies. When you receive a policy, an insurance contract from BCIC, and you read it through, you can actually understand it. What your exposures are, how you are covered. And we're very, very proud of that. But they're going beyond that. They've introduced flexible premium payments, providing up to 100% financing for the premiums, and you can spread that over 11 months. And this continues to be the only AM-Best rated insurance company in Jamaica. We're now investing significantly in making a substantial investment in technology to transition to a fully digital platform to enhance customer experience. So we're very pleased with what's happening in BCIC, and we encourage you, if you're not insured with BCIC, please call us to see how you can accomplish that. Many years ago, we purchased 30% of Caroline through VM Investments Limited. At the end of March of this year, that holding was transferred to VM Financial Group. VM Financial Group acquired the 30% shareholding Caroline from VM Investments Limited. And we're pleased because all the territories in which Caroline now operates are profitable. And so Caroline is now serving over 80,000 registered users. Over 12,200 loans have been approved in Caroline across Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, you may applaud. We continue to intensify our growth in membership. As I said earlier, we welcomed almost 14,000 new members to ownership status in the VM Group last year. And the VM Group members are saying that we're pleased with their service because they gave us a net promoter score, a loyalty score of over 51 last year. We continue to invest in technology to improve the service to you. These are all the new platforms that were introduced last year in pensions, online banking for business, the wealth client portfolio in VM Wealth, the IPO Edge platform in VM Wealth. Account opening is now at your fingertips, and we have expanded the ACH, making transfers easier using both ACH and RTGS, which we had before. And if you don't know, VM is also on the SWIFT system to facilitate international transfers. With respect to our caring and expert team, we continue to invest in them. We are retaining our high potential people. We are preparing them for higher roles, for more senior roles in the organization through our talent management, our employee engagement and wellness programs, and our performance management and total rewards programs. So those are most of the highlights. And then I'll wrap the recap of last year by sharing what we did with our foundation. We continue to invest in our communities and build our communities through parenting, youth empowerment, and community development. And those are the focus areas. We're very pleased with programs such as VM Scholars. Over 70 students are benefiting from VM sponsorship in high schools and tertiary institutions in this country. And VM Enrich is our social enterprise program. And then last year, we started a new program with the University of the West Indies, where we're sponsoring the VM Group UWI Mona Distinguished Lecture Series, and we had 2 such lectures last year. So that's the past. What of the future? What of 2024 and beyond? We see our future being captured in these 6 bullets here, leveraging the new structure to capitalize on emerging opportunities, growing and diversifying our revenue, expanding globally, expanding our members to you, expanding our benefits to you, our members, and retaining an engaged team and embedding a culture of excellence. And of course, finally, how we transform our communities. So let's look at each of these very, very quickly. So we're going to leverage our new structure to build a profitable and efficient and resilient VM group. The aim is to grow revenue across all the business lines in and outside of Jamaica. So we want to do that through partnerships. We want to do that through our cross-selling efforts. And the whole idea is that we'll be shifting more of our team members from support roles to sales roles because we're doing more and more digitalization in the back office. In terms of how we will use digital channels to increase access, choice, and convenience, very soon we'll be introducing, by the end of September, our group online onboarding facility that will allow you, your family, your friends, here or overseas, to actually open an account with VM online from anywhere in the world. We're going to be rolling out our customer-first strategy. What that means is that we're going to be doing more work on segmentation and really developing the competence of better understanding the needs of our members and clients and putting ourselves in a position to anticipate your needs and to fulfill them. And of course, we're going to be continuing the work to embed a culture of excellence and accountability in the group. In terms of what we're going to do to grow and diversify revenue, it has to do with expanding our payment services and growing our asset management portfolio, especially in VM Wealth, and rolling out a comprehensive business services program, both VM Investments Limited and VMBS. And our intention is to continue to expand VM's global business. What do we mean by this then? Next year, we'll launch our international debit card, and we have other credit cards, including business credit cards, to be introduced shortly. In VM Wealth, we are going to be expanding our asset management business. We are going to partner with VM Overseas and VM Finance to accelerate the diaspora sales efforts. We're going to be establishing a real estate development fund. We're going to be growing the private equity portfolio, and VM Wealth Barbados will be used to expand wealth management services to the Eastern Caribbean. All of these together will be what we will do to expand our asset management business in the future. In terms of business services, we are going to launch our customer service experience model for corporates and for small and medium enterprises. We're going to be expanding the suite of products targeted at the business sector, and we're going to start really with VMBS, VM Building Society, and the first step is to establish a team of relationship managers to support our business clients. So our Chief Sales Officer, Conroy Rose, where's Conroy? Conroy Rose will be working very closely with Paul Elliott and his team to get that done and get it done as quickly as possible. So you'll be seeing a difference there in terms of VM serving businesses. And then last point on this is that we wish to expand our global footprint. VM is a leader in serving, VM has for many years been a leading Jamaican financial institution in serving the diaspora market. And we are intent on being the financial institution of choice for Jamaicans living overseas. So whether Jamaicans living overseas wish to save here, invest here, build here, do business here, VM should be their institution of choice. But beyond the diaspora market, we are, as I said, going to use the newly established VM Wealth Funds in Barbados to explore and exploit opportunities in the Eastern Caribbean. And we expect that VM Finance will increase its contribution using the funding that was just secured from NatWest to grow that loan portfolio. That loan portfolio is now about £70 million. We expect it to be well over 100 million by early next year. We're going to continue our customer-first strategy. What we mean here is that we will, for the remainder of this year, focus on developing a roadmap to guide the initiatives that will, over the next 5 years, move our customer maturity from the current integrated stage to what we call customer adaptive. As I said earlier, we would like to be in a position to anticipate your needs. And our Group Chief Customer and Brand Officer, Judith Forth-Blake, is very passionate about that. She's leading that effort, and we know with her leadership, it will be well executed, right? Judith, raise your hand there, right? We'll continue to push forward with the Journey to 1 Million program. And we know that many of you have been trying to reach us through our Member Engagement Center. Many dropped calls, many abandoned calls, am I correct? Oh, all right, you don't have that experience, thank God. But some of our other members have that experience, and we're planning to upgrade our Member Engagement Center to facilitate an improved operational efficiency and service experience for our members and clients, including 24/7 access. So please listen out for that. But in the meantime, we continue to support them with Vicky, our chatbot. We will continue to invest in technology and process improvement. One of the things that we plan to do is to roll out the TurnKey ecosystem that we'll share with you today. And of course, we'll continue to invest in our people. There is Jodianne Smykel, our President's Awardee for 2023, but she's just a really good example of people who live our culture, and we want to embed across the VM Group a culture of accountability, teamwork, and excellence, so we continue to invest in our people. And then finally, even as we invest in our people, we continue to invest in our communities. We want to continue to focus, Samantha, on parenting, youth empowerment, and community development. We will be digitalizing. Samantha plans to digitalize the VM Enrich program. That's a social entrepreneurship program to ensure that we can reach more schools. Right now we're in 10 schools, and the whole idea is that we'd like to expand that number. And then we're going to continue the VM Foundation's land titling program in partnership with the National Land Agency. So members, I want to thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your business. Thank you for your referrals. We have been navigating a difficult environment, but we have been resilient, and I believe that we are stronger than ever. We are ready for the future. We're ready to transform more lives. And we're ready, as the theme says on the annual report, we're ready to reset and rise. Please reset and rise with us. Thank you very much. I've been mentioning the TurnKey ecosystem. I'm going to invite Maurice Barnes to just say a few words about it and to then introduce a video that will tell you about the TurnKey ecosystem. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Courtney. All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinguished privilege this afternoon to introduce to you the TurnKey platform for real estate. The TurnKey platform for real estate is an online digital platform providing a portal for the buying and selling of real estate through your preferred broker, offering from property search straight through to turning the key to your new home and beyond. It's a safe, secure platform which features the participation of a number of stakeholders who are involved, including the realtors, valuers, surveyors, insurance companies, and agents, and financial institutions. All of these stakeholders who are involved in that home ownership process. We'll bring them all together on this new and exciting platform, which will transform the customer experience for that home ownership journey. So just let me draw your attention quickly to a video which gives you an overview of what a real estate buyer can expect from a website that is running on this new turnkey platform.
Thinking about buying your first home, forever home, or even an investment property? We get it. Buying real estate can be a bit overwhelming. From finding the perfect place to fit your needs and budget, to navigating mortgage documents and choosing a reliable real estate broker. That's why there's TurnKey. With TurnKey, you can explore a demographic map of properties and search for homes to buy or rent via a real estate broker website. You can also request pre-approval letters, book appointments, and find valuators, surveyors, mortgage lenders, and lawyers all in one place. Home buying is a journey. Don't stress over the paperwork. TurnKey's dashboard helps you apply for a mortgage, manage critical documentation, and track key steps with notifications and alerts. Get on your journey home, knowing you're never alone with TurnKey. Real estate made easy. All in one place. Visit HelloTurnkey.com to open doors to a better way to real estate.
Thank you. So, as the video says, we invite you to go to HelloTurnkey.com for more information. To experience this home ownership journey, just look for that Turnkey logo on any one of your favorite search websites for properties, or if it's not there, ask your realtor to get on Turnkey today to have your dreams turn to keys together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maurice. That was very interesting. Look forward to using it, yes. And for everybody else to tell me next year how well it worked, right? In the Q&A section. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Courtney Campbell, who, as usual, delivered a great address. Thank you, Courtney. You know, you've heard that last year was a tough year. There is no doubt, and I'm sure many of you as members actually experienced that toughness from high interest rates and inflation, just like us, just like your own mutual. But I am convinced, based on what we've heard here today, and of course, you know, what we hear at the board, that we have absolutely the right people in the right slots. And that's very important. If we're going to climb our way out of the difficulties, we need the right people, and I think that we have them. So I want to salute the team members themselves. I see Courtney introducing the CEOs of the various subs, and they put up their hand. But you, as members, need to know who these people are, right? You have to, as we say, mark them face, right? So I want to introduce Michael Howard from VMMTS. Michael, stand up for me now. Maurice Vance from VM Innovations. Where did Natalie disappeared? Natalie Bennett. Natalie was just here from VM Pensions. I don't see her, but Paul Elliott from the VMBS, CEO. Rez Burchinson from VMIL and VM Wealth Management. And I think, as you said, that's it, right? Because Alison is on vacation. But ladies and gentlemen, please feel free. Thank you, guys. Ladies, wherever you are. Thank you, everybody. But if you want to reach out after the event, please feel free. These are your CEOs, along with the other team members who are as important, but don't have that essential. We'll show you Natalie when she gets back. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So as I said, I think we have the right people in the right slots. We have the right strategy, as you've heard. We are unbowed. We are undaunted by the difficulties that we faced. We see ourselves emerging from this even stronger with our new structure. And that's all because of the dedication and loyalty of our members. That's what makes us unique as a mutual. And you've heard me thank the members a million times, and so has Courtney. But to drive home the point, I want you as members to understand that you are as strong as the member next to you by your own investment and by their investment. So I want you to turn to the person beside you and say, thank you, member. Thank you for your support. There you go. Very, very important, right? They are a part of your future and you are a part of theirs. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for that. At this point, you've heard the chairman's address, you've heard the CEO's presentation, and you've had the annual report. So I'm going to invite questions from the membership on any of the matters that you've heard so far, including the auditor's report, of course, which we also heard. Please just step up to the mic and identify yourself, member.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Daniel. That's better for me, at least. Yes. My name is Daniel Shaw, member.
Mr. Shaw.
And it's pretty cold, so I might be doing this more often. And I don't really handle the cold very well, ironically. Anyways, I'm going to read an excerpt from The Observer. Right, so Free No More, published on August 22nd.
You have to speak a bit there, Mr. Shaw. I'm not hearing
Can I
you.
hear?
No, go ahead.
Am I really?
No, man, the mic is fine. Just
Project.
get a little closer. Yeah, just lean in.
All right. Better?
Better.
Okay. I'm going to read an excerpt from The Observer, by Cody Ann Barrett, who is a senior business reporter, published August the 22nd, 2023, titled Free No More. All right. So, previously, VM Building Society absorbed the cost for members to use competing financial instruments, institutions, ABMs. This amounted to $7 million being paid to other financial institutions each year in order to ensure that your VM Building Society continues to grow and thrive so that more lives can be transformed. We can no longer absorb these costs. The VM Group told its customers in an advisory. And you can confirm this looking at the VM Group website, schedule of fees and charges, PDF May 30, 2023. Now, in another article, Observer article as well, titled VMS, JMB to hike fees effective February the 1st, by Karina Barrett, who is also a senior business reporter, published on December 22nd, 2023. So, the adjustments to the fee structure mean that clients of the financial institutions will see increases for some existing charges, while in other areas the institutions have added new charges, in addition to raising fees on the day-to-day transactions such as in-branch cash withdrawals and in-branch transfers between own accounts and third-party accounts. VMBS has also added a bunch of new fees in categories of business services and mortgages and mortgage loan processing. VMBS is also pushing some of the costs it has to absorb on business clients. The updates have been made to reflect changes in the market and to ensure that we can continue to provide the high level of service you expect from us. These revisions also include our addition. All right, what am I saying? Now, I understand the economy, as you said earlier. I understand that these fees, as it is now, is competitive, at least in my opinion, to other financial institutions. But a previous attraction of VMBS specifically, the Building Society, was the absence of no fees. Now, as it is, the impression that this gives off is free paper bond, just deal with it. That's just the impression. Now, my question is officially, what's the trade-off? Where has the trade-off been?
Okay, thank you for your question. Your question is, with the advent of new fees or increased fees, are you getting better service? The question is,
not necessarily
you
better
have to
service,
answer
just
that.
generally what's the trade-off?
Well,
if the trade-off is better service,
so the objective is to be able to serve our members as effectively as possible. And as you know, nothing in life is free. So there's a cost somewhere along the line. Some of these have been passed on to our members. In the case of the ABMs, correct me if I'm wrong, Courtney, we still have free ABM services for VMBS members at VMBS ATMs.
Right, that's correct.
So there are some things that have remained the same. Other things have changed, of course, because prices rise. So what we've tried to be is judicious with where we increase the cost. Where we can hold the cost, we try to hold them. And you heard about our higher savings rates last year, etc. That's the trade-off. That's where the differences go. And unfortunately, we can't hold them all indefinitely. Inflation, higher interest rates, these all impact our bottom line as well. And we have to keep a secure organization. So there is indeed that trade-off, but we hope that our members understand and see the value in what we've done.
I understand the group benefits. We all benefit in theory. But so in the future, will there be an incremental increase for fees, or we can count on the current competitive rates?
Well, what you can count on is that we are going to sweat that question with our members. That we agonize over every time we have to look at those fees, we agonize over it. We have to drive our efficiency. You've seen the year that we've had last year as a member. It's not a year that we want to necessarily repeat. We've had great strides, but you always want to ensure that you have a healthy bottom line. And so that requires some amount of trade-off. But understand that we know that it hits our members like that. And we have to make those tough decisions from time to time. And we ask you to just understand the kind of business that we're trying to have. I want to ask Paul Elliott, who is the head of the Building Society, who is probably the person who has the heat for most of those fees. So Paul, if you can...
Actually, I'm more interested in speaking to the VM Wealth side.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so members, thank you for coming. And listen, it's a solid question. You asked about the trade-off. Somebody give you the trade-off. So in the past, when we absorbed the fees for members using ABMs at other banks, our ABM stock was pretty small. We've expanded. We have over 35 ABMs now. And so the trade-off is that we've now actually moved into more investments in our own ABMs, and we still have the no fees for our members at our ABMs. And in fact, we do have some free services at some of the other banks' ABMs, like balance inquiries and decline transactions, and so on and so forth. So we agonize over making fee changes. And one of the member benefits that we have and still continue to maintain for you is discounted fees, discounted services, and service charges. So we're always going to give our members back value through discounts in our fees and charges. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Yes, next.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gay Clunis.
Hello, Ms. Clunis.
I really don't have a question, but I just have a commendation, especially when I see reset and rise. I would put it reset and rise in Jesus' name. Amen? Amen. So we can go forward. Thank you so much. Mr. Courtney, I thank God for you very much, because I had an issue, and I just want to commend Peter Reed. I understand he's not here, but I just think this is a forum I could just mention. I had an issue with a canopy, because I was of the impression that canopy was really something by Victoria Mutual, and I had an issue. And I went downtown, and I met Mr. Reed in the car park, at the Victoria Mutual's car park. And I just saw him, and I was just led to speak to him. And why I want to commend him is that I didn't even know that it wasn't really Victoria Mutual who had canopy. And I told him what the problem was, and he took it upon himself. And he went and sent an email, and everything was cleared up. So, I stand this evening to give thanks to him because he never knew who I was. And, just meeting him in the car park, he was there really to, just to say he did what he could do. And by the time I got home, there was an email sent to me, and the policy was reinstated. There was a misunderstanding on the policy, and it was reinstated. So I just want to say thanks to Mr. Reid. I'm only sorry that he's not here today.
We'll certainly pass that on to him.
Okay,
thank you.
The other commendation is I went into Victoria Mutual, and I over the years, and this is like over 30 years, I had a U.S. account with Victoria Mutual. That time it used to be called an international account. That time it used to be administered from your Halfway Tree branch. And when I went into the branch down at Duke Street, I went to customer service, got everything done. I was dealing with some business for my son here. And when I, did all the paperwork, and then the lady said to me, the young lady, very good customer service at Duke Street, and she said to me, but Miss Clunis, you still have an account with us. I said, what? I was of the impression that that account went dormant, so it had gone over to Consolidated Fund for Government, because after working in government for so long, that was what I always knew, that the bank accounts that went dormant, it went over to the government's Consolidated Fund. I said, what, Victoria Mutual must be the only bank that don't really, don't send your money to government, so I must commend you.
No
so
comment.
I just especially want to say thank you, Victoria Mutual. Keep up the good work. And as the word of God says, when you acknowledge God in all your ways, he surely will direct your path. God bless you.
Thank you, member. We'll pass it on to Mr. Reid, but I think any of our members are agile enough to do business anywhere they see a member. So if you're button up at the bus stop, believe me, they're ready for you, right? Or but I think the other point also is that any product that we are selling, whether it is our direct product or it is a product of our affiliate, we are responsible to our members for that product. And so we have to address any issues that you have there. So please feel free again on any matter like that. And last thing I want to say to you is, so when you open that account, we were Victoria Mutual. When you found back the account, we are VM.
Yes.
So say it with me, VM.
VM.
There you go. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Next.
Yes, sir. Dennis Edmondson.
Mr. Edmondson,
Yes,
welcome, member.
Okay. You had mentioned last year being a tough year. I had mentioned about some deficit or lost, 374 million lost, or something like that.
300 million.
300 million lost. So I'm trying to understand how did the loss come about in terms of the product, for example. Is it like real estate, stock market, what? I don't know. The product, yes, how the loss come about. And what strategy you have going forward to mitigate some of those losses?
Okay. So I'm going to get our CEO up here.
Yes.
But I hope you saw the presentation.
Yes.
And the annual report is really about that. But those movements in the economic rates, like high interest rates, the inflationary rates, those would have put pressure on our expenses, on our costs.
Okay.
And that's the primary reason for the issues that we've had, is the squeezing of the margins and the impact of our costs. But Courtney, you want to? Yeah, but, just in case.
Yeah. Well, so an institution such as ours, we make money. Remember our business model. We take in deposits. Yeah. We pay interest on those deposits. And we lend some of those deposits and charge interest for them on the loans. And we invest some of it in other instruments. And then we also charge fees and commissions for some of the services that we provide. And below that, that's our revenue, net interest income plus non-interest income. And then you subtract from that our operating expenses, staff, electricity, the cost of IT, depreciation, etc. The issue in 2023, as I explained in the presentation, don't know if you saw it, right, was really at the level of the net interest income. where we, first of all, issued some new preference shares in VM Financial Group. That cost us over $700 million. That wasn't there before, in the year before.
Okay, so,
Right?
so this would also include your projection?
No. That's actual real cost
actual real
for
cost.
2020, for 2023. In addition to that, VMBS had some higher cost deposits. Typically, what you try to do is to pass on those to our mortgage customers, or people who are borrowing from us.
Yes.
But as with many other financial institutions, the spread between what you're able to charge on loans and what you're paying on deposits, that spread got thinner in 2023 than it was in the previous years. So those two accounted for the difference.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So in terms of strategy, you think we have anything we could anything to mitigate?
Yeah, well, I think I tried to explain that. So let me just repeat, not the full details, but we're trying. First of all, you have to manage your interest spread better.
Yes.
So we are growing our credit card business, for example. That's doing much better this year than it did last year. That gives us fee income, and it also gives us interest income at higher rates.
Yes.
We're also doing other loans that attract higher interest rates. We're trying to promote more our regular savings accounts, which come at lower interest costs than some of the more expensive deposits that we had to use last year. So it's a combination of things, right? But the whole idea is to manage your spreads, to optimize your fee income, like Mr. Daniel, I think, asked recently, and also to maintain good control over your operating expenses. All right? Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you, Courtney. Yes, that improved efficiency is something that we are relentless about. We have to drive those efficiencies, and that's what we have to take responsibility for. But of course, the other element is by broadening our membership, then we have more sources of revenue, more sources of value. We can provide more solutions. So that's why it's important to drive the membership, to evangelize about becoming a member of VM, because it helps us and strengthens the institutions and helps us all. So thank you for that. One question. Oh, before you do though, I told you I was going to introduce you to our other CEO that was not here at the moment, Natalie Bennett of VM Pensions. Natalie. And that's very timely because the chairman of VM Pensions just walked in. So Michael McAnuff-Jones, our director of VMFG. And thank you, Michael. Thanks for coming. Okay, yes, sir.
Yes, I'm a bit perplexed as to what you really are, because the last meeting I attended at the arena, I asked the question, are you moving towards a bank? The answer was no. What are you really now?
We are a financial conglomerate of several different types of financial institutions, of which a bank is not one. So we have a wealth management arm company, we have a building society, we have a pensions management business, we have a property services business, we have a small business lending business, we have a specialty loan business in the UK, but we don't have a commercial bank. You sound like you want us to have a commercial bank, right? Because this is the second year you're asking the question.
No, you just seem to move, to me, far from your core business.
Which is what?
Building society was made of and functioned for.
So the building society is the largest subsidiary of VM Financial Group. It still does an overwhelming amount of business. You heard where we did 14.9, Courtney? $14.9 billion in mortgages of the total number of loans that we do, which is 20. It's 80%. I think it's 24 billion is the total amount of loans. So we provide our mortgagors and our members with other types of loans that they may think is necessary. If they don't think it's necessary, they wouldn't borrow it. So it wouldn't be important. But if members want homeowner loans, home improvement loans, if they want car loans, if they want a credit card, they can get that service from us. And we think that that's a pretty good strategy for addressing the needs of our members.
Yes, one more. The land titling project that you have with the National
Oh,
Land
we finished
Agency.
with the commercial bank one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I'm ready for you,
So, how does that work?
The land titling.
Yes.
Samantha? Samantha, who I did not introduce as CEO of our foundation, forgive me 1,000 pardons. And I had it written down right here, Samantha. But anyway, come and tell us about land titling.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, remind me of your name, sir? Mr. Smith. Thank you for asking that question. So we have partnered with the National Land Agency to really provide a structure around a lot of pieces of land that are in the hands of persons that have a title but it's not registered. This was a program coming out of the National Land Agency to regularize land tenure. And what it does, as member is rightly saying here, Ms. Clunis, along with the LAM program. And what it does is that we are ensuring that the persons who have these titles that are not registered understand that there is a capacity through the National Land Agency and the VM Foundation for you to, provided you fall within certain requirements, will be able to procure a grant, so you don't have to pay this back, that will go towards the surveyor fees of that particular land. And why are we doing this? We're doing this to be able to ensure that we can unlock the wealth that is in a registered title, not a title that's not registered. You can take that registered title to the building society, not the bank, the building society. and so what we want to ensure, and as the president and CEO said, we are an institution that really are about empowering our individuals and transforming their lives. And this is one of the initiatives that through the foundation is providing this particular project, this particular initiative that will allow these people who don't have a registered title to get registered. We really want to be able to empower these individuals so that they can utilize that wealth that's within a registered title.
Thank you, Samantha. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this time I don't see any more questions, so we'll move into other parts of the program which are very, very important.
Sir, can I just mention something? I heard when I think it was the CEO made his report, he mentioned about your pension scheme. The pension scheme that you're proposing. But I don't know if you're aware that, because I'm sure a lot of your members are civil servants, that as a civil servant you can't have more than one pension scheme. The government, they were working on it. I don't know what has happened now since I've retired. But I know then you were not able to go into more than one pension scheme. So I don't know, maybe what you can do is you can ask the people to go into the iSave for, and you have an iSave for retirement. Thank you.
All right, so who is going to hire Ms. Clunis? The building society or the pension fund? Both of you can fight it out anyway. Thank you very much, member. Last question, because we do have a great deal of business to do and we are beyond our time. But please, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Courtney Thompson. I'm a member of the VM.
Welcome, and thank you for being a member.
What I'm trying to find out is, for your iSave account, what rates of benefit do you get on that account when you save with iSave?
Okay, I don't know if we want to necessarily give you the full range of rates here, but see all of those folks at the back there? If you turn around, all of those folks they are just dying to tell you the answer. And they have all those folks in the front who won't tell you, but I'm not going to tell you as simply as those guys. So, choose, and I'm sure they'll come around and give you that information. Can we get somebody to speak with our member about the rates?
Thanks much.
Okay, yeah, somebody's going to come to you in a minute. All right, thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a bit of business. May I have a motion for the approval of the auditor's reports, the financial statement for the year end 31 December 2023, and the director's report? First mover. Motion by Director Goldson. Second. Mr. Shaw? Mr. Shaw. Seconded by Mr. Shaw. All in favor? Aye. Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you very much. The next resolution is for consideration is the election of directors. This is resolution number 2. The following directors retire pursuant to Article 81 of the Articles of Incorporation, who, being eligible, offer themselves for re-election. Mr. Philip Silvero, who we saw earlier, and Dr. Maurice McNaughton, who is absent. I therefore propose a resolution for the re-election of the directors en bloc and ask a shareholder to approve the motion. Yes, sir. Your name? Derek Howard. Thank you. May I ask another shareholder to second the motion? Mr. Dennis. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Resolution number 3 for consideration at this time is the director's remuneration. The amount of $95,854,000 included in the audited accounts of the company for the year ended 31 December 2023 as remuneration for their services as directors be and is hereby approved. May I ask a shareholder to approve the resolution presented? First mover? Dion Lawrence, thank you, member. And another shareholder to second that motion. Second, Janice McKinley. Thank you, Janice. All in favor? Aye. Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Resolution number 4, appointment of auditors. This resolution is for the appointment of KPMG as auditors, having signified their willingness to continue in office as auditors, are hereby reappointed auditors of the company to hold office until the next annual general meeting at a remuneration to be agreed with the directors. May I have a motion for the approval of the appointment of KPMG as auditors at a remuneration to be agreed with the directors? Motion? Courtney? Courtney moves. Second? Gibson. Mr. Gibson. Gibbs, I'm sorry. Mr. Gibbs, second. All in favor? Aye. Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the 4 resolutions that we were required to move at this time. If anybody has any other relevant business, please share that with us now. This is AOB, so if there were questions that were not answered, we can have those questions at this time. I'm looking for Tariq. Where's Tariq? Yes. Where's Tariq? So Tariq told me, I don't know where he is, but Tariq told me of a question that someone asked him about the usefulness of the ABMs, that the usefulness had been improved, but a member was not understanding how you could use the ABMs for cash deposits without a card. Who's gonna come and explain that? Tariq's big moment and I'm not here. He's coming.
I think I could have. Okay.
Mr. Monroe.
I was going to ask.
So I was just presenting the question that was asked about ABMs and their effectiveness without, being able to use them without having a member's card. Could you just come up and give us that explanation? Sure. You can come to the mic. So you have to lay the context, because the ABMs, most people are used to using the ABMs with just their member card.
Hello. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So I was telling Mr. Mack earlier that we had a really amazing release or development a few weeks ago. As most of you know, VM has been on a massive transformation drive, yeah? Mr. Campbell mentioned that we spent a bit in technology, and this has manifested on our online banking, but also our ABMs. So a few weeks ago, we released what we call cardless cash deposits. That means, yeah, it's worthy of applause. and that's beneficial for a few reasons, right? So some of you here today might be a member, but you don't have an ABM card. You can make a deposit to your account without joining the teller line in a branch, right? So that's one scenario. May not be applicable to you, but if it is, good. Secondly, persons outside of VM may want to make a payment to your account. And for some reason, or probably justifiably so, they're not one of those persons that transact online. So they don't want to send you the funds via online banking from their other bank. They also don't want to spend the time in the teller line in the branch to make the deposit to your account. This is beneficial to them because now they can go up to the ABM and make the deposit to your account. How does it work? All you need to do is have the cash, obviously. You have the account number that you want to make the deposit to, and you provide that to the ABM. We'll ask you to enter the account number, and you also will be asked to enter the initials of the person for the account for which you're making the deposit. Yeah? And it gives you a confirmation, and the account is credited in almost real time. How cool is that?
That's great.
Yeah? So cardless cash deposits, it's here. It's at all our intelligent ABMs. It's another one of the investments coming out of our massive transformation. Kudos to the Program Management Office and the rest of the VM team for pulling it together. All right?
Great. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, we want everybody to have an ABM card, obviously. All members should have an ABM card. But even if you don't have an ABM card, you can still take advantage of your ABMs by being able to make payments to other members. So it's not sorcery, it's innovation. So thank you, Tariq. Good. Okay, any other business going once?
Chairman, I think some members are asking for a little more detail on iSave, so we're going to ask Franklin to just share that in the iSave account.
All right.
Because I was talking about it.
I'm being overruled, as happens often. We're going to hear more about the iSave. We're going to hear more about the iSave account. It's in hot demand, so please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. All right, so I will just give a quick synopsis on our iSave product, that flagship deposit product. I gather persons are asking and trying to identify how does it fit within the portfolio. So it is now tailored and designed in a fashion that it suits the need. So you see for a particular goal, whether it's a mortgage, whether it's education, some sort of future planning, whatever it is, and it's now tailored to fit within that goal. And we looked at, based on the range, the interest rate will apply over the extended period, whether short-term, long-term. So what we have done is to mortify it in somewhat from a base product to more designed to fit that individual need. So for whichever member want to find out a little bit more about how it fits your specific goal or desire, then we can tailor that to fit your needs. So it's very versatile right now, and it transforms itself to meet that demand wherever and however you want it to go. So speak to me right after, and we can look at it at individual basis and get it done, all right? Thank you.
Franklin. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now addressed all the items on the agenda. I therefore move for the termination of this annual general meeting of VM Group Limited. Could I have a motion? Paul, motion. Second? Natalie, second. All in favor? Any against? No. Any abstentions? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The meeting is terminated. Please feel free to stay for refreshments and talk to all of our members who are dying to talk to you. Thank you very much.
It's time to think of saving as earning. Time to put your savings to work so your money is hustling, growing, rising. It's time to iSave. Save for your goal. It's in reach. It's time to think of saving as earning. Time to put your savings to work so your money is hustling, growing, rising. It's time to iSave. Save for your goal. It's in reach when you automate it and let your money plus VMBS do the work. iSave this summer for a chance to win $100, $250, even $500,000. 12 prizes, 12 more reasons to start your VM iSave account today. Visit isavingforthat.myvmgroup.com.